Hey there. Today I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm running through this old Roland amp with this mic and this guitar, and the thought was to guide or walk you through just how I sit and play and practice. And like I've been creating all these shorts and sharing those, and I'm kind of at a point where I'm seeing that people are subscribing, and so I get the feel that a lot of people are playing guitar or have a guitar in their hands and are interested in my stuff, just to kind of play along with and whatnot. So I just thought that I would do a longer video and not just do the shorts today, but maybe edit this down into some shorts, but just kind of go through some of what I've been doing as far as like practice and like talk a little bit of theory with regards to some recent like riffs that I've posted, because a lot of what I post, there's definitely a thought process behind it, and I hope this reverb isn't too much for just talking, but it sounds nice on the guitar. So yeah, I have this really old amp, and it has stereo outputs, and I'm running it into just a simple 2-channel mixer, a Behringer 2-channel mixer. And then from there, I've got a little adapter that plugs into my iPhones. This is just like an iPhone 12 for the video. So not a very sophisticated setup, but I'm just hoping that connecting it this way is a little more pleasing to the ears than just the iPhone itself. And then kind of as I go, I'm hoping to get a little better at video editing and whatnot, but kind of just wanted to keep the focus on music and not get too lost in the technology stuff. So anyways, I think the first thing is the riff. One of the riffs I posted yesterday as a short that more people clicked on than the other ones was just this. Which is B minor, D major, A major, E major. So those 4 chords, like, I don't know, I'm sure there's, other songs that have those 4 chords, and it's not some amazing complex or whatever thing, but just something about, I ignore, like, I used to think if these chords aren't original, then I can't play them, but it's like you have hundreds of songs with the same 4 chords. It's just, to me, I'm making it more about if these chords resonate with me, I write them in this book, which I got right here. So it's just like I have this book of, like all of the sets of chords that have resonated with me, and then it's like I'm coloring them. Like yellow are ones that I want to work on, and red are ones with some words, and pink are ones that I've revisited and really like. So I just basically flip through this book and post those as shorts, and I'd like to spend more time like talking and talking about theory and whatnot, because I feel like that's kind of probably what people are wanting to hear, because it seems like there's a lot of guitar players that are commenting on stuff. So anyways, back to those 4 chords: B minor, D major, A major, E. Like I really like them. And then, so the thing about it that I thought was interesting, that my old thinking would have just immediately said, hey, I'm going to solo in B minor over that. That's got to be in B minor because it starts with B minor, right? So I loop the chords. And if I start soloing in B minor, so right away I'm like, okay, that note in like the minor scale position that I was in, like just like I believe it's position 5. It's this one. So I'm looking at the fact that this note here is like dissonant, because like if I play E major up right in that same spot, obviously I'm going to play this note. If I'm focused on B minor scale there, I'd be playing this note. So it's like, wait a minute, if that progression's got E, or got this note in it, then it's not in B minor, right? So then you dig a little further and you go, wait a minute, okay, so B minor, D, A, and E. I look at like, you know, I don't have them right in front of me, but a chart of all the chords, and you realize, hey, all those chords are actually in F sharp minor, which I always end up playing in that key for some reason. A major or F sharp minor for some reason really is like one of my favorites. But anyway, so with that being said, then I go, okay, if I revisit then and I think of again this same pattern, but down here where F sharp's the root note, you know, and then I noodle over it there with that. Oops. So there's no sour notes. There's like, you know, so it's like, okay, well, that's not, you know, B minor was not the key of that riff, even though the chords start with B minor, which I'm sure a lot of people realize that, but it's just something where I think over the years I've incorrectly gone to solo over a riff that starts with a chord that is not the chord of the key you're playing. You know, so someone plays that riff, like, I think the instinct is to go, what is that guy playing? Okay, B minor, blah, blah, blah. And you just go, well, that's in B minor. Well, in this case, it's not. And for some reason, those chord progressions are ones I really enjoy, where you're playing four chords that don't have the first chord is not the key you're in. I don't know. There's something about that I think is interesting sounding. I'll have to come up with some examples, but anyway. So what I ended up finding out was I dug a little further. It's like, well, it seems like a lot of the if I play up there. A lot of those notes do go, and that's because in F sharp minor, so here's F sharp minor, the chord, and that was that position down there, right? But up here, if I find the right position, it's actually this shape, and then you see that note, that E note, sorry, it got wet, but that blurry note right there is the correct note. So it's like this pattern is quite similar to this position. This position is the note pattern is similar to the other one that I was incorrectly playing. So I think that's part of the reason that I would always trip up on that over the years. But yeah, so with that in mind, the reason also, I guess I'll just share this whole thing. I just put this up and stare at a lot because scales is one of the things that I think, like probably a lot of you, it's really, I struggle to sit and stare at this enough and play it enough. But I'm starting to do it often enough to where now these patterns are starting to stick in my mind, right? And then I'm feeling it when I'm noodling over some chords that, like, I'm playing melodies and stuff that are sounding a little bit more like unique or whatever. Like if you are playing in one position of the major or minor scale, you know, like for example, if you're playing a lot of E minor stuff, you're up there. And I spent like years just playing mostly soloing on that 12th fret, which I think a lot of guitar players kind of do. But yeah, trying to get out of there and down and into the other positions of the scale, I think it gives you a lot nicer sound as you're kind of noodling to get out of those ruts or whatever. That's kind of been, I guess, a huge part of what I've been pushing through as a music person is like getting out of this rut of feeling like when I used to pick up a guitar, I would play chords that sounded just like all of the music I listened to during my high school days, which I get. Like, you know, a lot of people, their favorite music was when, you know, they were in their 20s or teens or whatever, and you're listening to all the stuff that really resonates with you at a time in your life where you know, there's a lot going on, there's a lot of emotion and whatnot. But, you know, anyways, so I grew up with the 90s and late 90s, early 2000s kind of rock and grunge rock. And so for a lot of years when I would play, it was hard for me to not just sound like I was imitating like, Metallica or Nirvana or whatever. So yeah, so part of my musical journey these last 5 or 6 or 7 years has been to learn some theory and kind of get out of that rut of playing the same stuff that I've been playing for however many years. And it's finally started to happen, and it's just making my playing more enjoyable. And I feel like, that concept earlier I said where I used to write down, or I used to play chords and realize, oh, that's someone else played those chords in their song. And to let go of that concept and just make those 4 chords somehow your own, there's no, you can't just copyright 4 chords. It's like once you put your own melody and rhythm and just your unique self into what you're doing, like that, that becomes your own. So I think that's been a huge thing for me, is to just like accept the fact that some of these chords I write down in this book, most of the chords, or literally probably all of the chords I write down in that book, someone else has already stumbled on those hundreds of years ago. But once you kind of put it all together in terms of making them your own, then it becomes unique. But anyways, I guess I'll just stop here for now on this video. It looks like I'm already about 12 minutes in, and it felt like about 2 seconds. So I think what I'll do is continue to maybe break down some of the other shorts I've posted and talk about them from a music theory perspective. And if people like that and click on those videos and watch them, I'll keep doing more. If you guys would rather that I play just music, then I can do that too. I'll probably end this video and then just start playing for a while and record my kind of playing / practice, and let people watch that too. So thanks for watching, and yeah, there'll be more here. All right.